Live?
Can't be bad.
Hey, we're live on Facebook.
Facebook Live.
We are Facebook Live.
Facebook Live.
Hey, I have a quick question for you.
Bubba.
Before we get down, hi everybody, thank you for tuning in. Facebook Live.
Facebook Live.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
I am on SchultzFord.com. Okay?
Yep.
And on the screen, I may ask you a question you don't know the answer to.
Okay.
It says, it looks like Jessica. It says, I'm online and happy to help. How may I help you?
Is it chat?
Who is Jessica?
Is that one of the chats?
Well, let's call her. What kind of phone do you have?
I have an Android.
And let's call her an Android.
Really?
She's
That's
not
awesome. But there's actually like a picture of her on here.
real. That's a company we use called Goobagoo.
Is that what that is?
Responds and they put a face to it, but it's really people behind the scenes that are
I
just
love it.
answering the questions. Real people
Oh.
with an Androidian kind of a look.
Well, so here's what's interesting is
That's fine.
that's a next level kind of service.
Yeah, let's not get stuck there. We have so many more things to talk
but
about.
let me
Wait,
ask
she
you
was
this-
live.
I know, but
This
let me
is
ask you.
live. You
but
can't
we
waste
can
time.
go on for as long as we want. I do have a question.
But people don't care. They don't want to hear us.
No,
go
they'll
on
care about what
forever.
I have to say.
Oh,
Because you know what that is?
What?
I'm once again at SchultzFord.com and I see a big coming soon sign.
Yeah, Schultz Ford
South.
Me. Schultz Ford South. Sturman Larkin.
Wow.
It will now become Schultz Ford South.
Really?
Yes, it will, but I'm not supposed to announce that yet.
Well,
You've already
but
heard
what do you
lot.
mean? Oh, I'm going to stand up.
Wait, so stand up because these microphones are wonderful.
So-
But wait, okay, so we're going to do that. That's going to be fun, and we're going to have, we have all these influencers, you and Melanie and Mark Madden. You're all going to get in trucks, and we're going to take the hill.
Wendy Bell.
Wendy Bell. We're going
By
to
the
take.
way,
We're going
Wendy
to take
Bell.
the hill.
Wendy
gonna-
Bell, I love you. Is that bad? I just declared my love for Wendy Bell.
That was pretty
live.
bad.
Can I take that back? No, I love Wendy
Nope, you can't. But your wife, I'm sure, will love that.
Bell. No, listen. Can I tell you a true story?
No,
True
I'd rather
story.
you
No,
lie.
I'm gonna tell you. No, I'm gonna tell you a true story. So I've known Wendy forever, and Wendy and I have a great relationship, right? And Wendy had never met my wife, and I've always joked on the radio that I have a crush on Wendy, right?
Right.
So we were at an event, and Wendy comes up to my wife, and so it's just been this ongoing thing where Wendy's totally infatuated with me. Wendy's totally in love with me.
And
she
Wendy's
walks up to
blind.
my wife and she gives my wife a big kiss and says, "Don't worry, I'm harmless." And I'm like, that's not what I wanted to hear. That's what she wanted to hear, but that's not what I wanted to hear.
Oh,
I love
God.
Wendy
I
so
would
much.
probably, if that conversation ever took, I'd be dead.
It was awesome.
I couldn't have that.
It was
Are you
absolutely
crazy?
awesome.
You're nuts.
I am just a little bit. Let me go down. Look, I'm making.
Go ahead. What?
I love when I make Richard mad. It just makes me really happy. By the way, you can ask us any question in the world. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Speaking of Schultz Ford South,
Yes.
near Kennywood,
Yes.
if I paid you $5, would you ride the new Steel Curtain roller coaster?
I will not go on a roller coaster.
$20.
Not a chance.
$20.
Never happened.
$50.
No.
$1,000 to ride the roller
no,
coaster.
No. I'd pay you $1,000 to not make me do it.
$1,500.
No, ain't happening.
As the $1 Million Man says, there's a
No.
price for everybody.
No. Not on
Yes.
that. No.
Yes.
Absolutely.
You would not ride the Steel Curtain.
Absolutely not.
What is the fear?
I don't know. It's a
Heights?
a real
Speed?
fear of height. Of height.
Really?
Oh, yes.
But now that's weird because I have a weird fear of heights, but I ride roller coasters.
Oh no. And then I envision. Well, I shouldn't say this, but
No,
then
don't say it.
because it's maintenance. Somebody
No.
makes a mistake.
Nope. I've ridden 1,000,000 roller coasters.
All right,
I love
well,
them. Okay,
It's
now
a
let's talk about
million
what you want to talk
first.
about.
It's $1 million first.
Now let's talk about what you want to
So
talk
Kelly
about.
was on her way here today, and she broke down in a car.
So what happens?
Which reminded me about something, because we hear so many things about autonomous vehicles.
Okay.
What do you think?
By the way, autonomous vehicles are vehicles that drive
Self-driving.
themselves,
Right.
right?
So what do you think of that?
I think it's a horrible idea.
Yeah, I do too. And
I
I'm not
really
trying to
do.
be. I'm not trying to be the guy that said, "Oh, the internet, that'll never take off."
Right.
I'm not that guy. I'm progressive. I think. I'm forward thinking. I'm into the mobility aspect. I think there will be a small place for it, but the other day I was driving to Harmerville from Wexford on the turnpike, and there's construction.
Yeah.
So, in the right lane, the slow lane, there is a barrier, and then
Okay.
there's another barrier.
Yes.
And I'm thinking, and it was raining,
Right?
and there was a big semi truck next to me.
Oh,
And I promise you, there wasn't that much room between us.
wow.
I would never, in my lifetime, trust an autonomous vehicle to be driving in that scenario. Never. So I think there are places for it, though, maybe in mass transit and all that. But now electrification.
But before you get down the
because
road of
there's a fabulous company here in town.
Before we get
Argo
into
AI.
electrification, let's go back to the autonomous vehicles, right?
Yeah.
I always need to understand my why. It's very important to me that I understand my why. If I don't understand my why, I can't function. Okay. So I ask you, and you may not be able to answer because you don't know that this. Why do we need autonomous vehicles? What purpose does that serve?
Okay, so the answer to that, the answer to that is many. There are many answers, but one of them are...
I can't think of one.
Well, transportation for the senior citizens to medical.
Okay, but that's fine. But
they have nobody to drive them.
How about me drive them? You drive them. Somebody drive them.
Well, if they don't have that, they keep
services.
It still maintains their independence.
Okay.
They can say, hey, you know what? And your mother and my mother are similar situations right now, right? And maybe somebody at the residence says, hey, Bubba's mother or Richard's mother, they want to go to the mall today. So, but there's no way to get there.
Yeah, but here's the problem. You need a human. You need to have a human there to help them once they get to their location. I don't want my mother or your mother getting to a location and being on their own.
Pizza deliveries, restaurant deliveries. Okay. There are reasons for it, and they're usually in cities of mass transit, the congestion, to eliminate the congestion. Right. New York, L.A., Chicago.
I vote no to autonomous driving.
Well, I do too. Okay. I do too.
Electrification.
Electrification, all over it. Love it.
You do?
Love it.
Explain.
Well, first of all, I can remember in 1973 our dependence on oil and the gas prices.
And it crashed.
And I think at that point is when we started to really focus on electrification. It's been that long.
Really?
Right? I think. And so now that you have this on the forefront, I think it's a wonderful alternative, and I think that once we eliminate our dependence on the oil, we'll still have it. But and Ford's hybrid vehicles are just fabulous.
So do you have to plug them in?
Depends on electric, yes. Electric, yes, but Ford hybrid, no.
Well,
it's self-charging. So it's half and half. It's half gas, half.
So give me an example of one hybrid vehicle and the miles per gallon that it would get.
I would, and I don't know the exact, Kelly, maybe you can help me. Yeah. But it would be a Fusion.
8 million miles per gallon.
No,
8 million.
No, but 45, 50.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's so cool because it's quiet. You don't even know it's running.
That's also, by the way, that is also unbelievably strange because I've been near some electric vehicles, and when it stops running, you're like, is the car on? Because you can't hear anything.
I know, it's pretty cool.
So Ford is leading the charge, right?
Listening to us because we're talking a lot. Ford is leading the charge. Ford is, talking about mobility as well. And I'll be honest with you, I don't like that. I just don't like Ford focusing on mobility. Mobility, we're still an automobile manufacturer. We still make the best products and the sexiest. The Mustang is the #1 selling sports car in the world. So we have all that. Can you imagine the Indy 500 with an autonomous vehicle, or the Indy 500 with an electric vehicle? Harley Davidson's going through that right now, right? Because they want to follow the electrification curve.
Electric motorcycles?
Yeah, and they're having a hard time because what people really want is the sound.
Oh.
Right? So they want the sound of the Harley. They want the sound of the sports car.
What?
So what they do now is, what they're trying to do is duplicate the sound through recording. So that you would still, when you accelerate, you still have the sound. Yeah.
So here's a question about Harley Davidson. I don't know how we went off this. Has a Harley Davidson, in your knowledge, ever gone down the road and tried to make a car?
I do not know that. But I would say no.
I would say no. They've stuck to one. One of the things that Richard has taught me in my life that I've failed to listen to him is focus on one thing and do it amazing. Give the magnifying glass example.
The magnifying glass example is really simple. When we were kids, at least, when we had magnifying glasses and say we caught a bug, right? If you put that magnifying glass, and this is terribly inhumane.
Use the paper.
Okay, we'll use the paper.
Use the paper example.
The bug, just imagine it. Yeah. But the paper was, if you put that magnifying glass underneath the sun and you moved it around on a piece of paper, nothing would ever happen.
Nothing.
But if you put that magnifying glass and you held it right there under the sun with that hole so small and kept it there,
it'll catch on fire.
Catches fire.
Yeah.
It ignites.
It is true.
So you have to give it an opportunity to ignite. Otherwise, you're setting yourself up for failure. And that's life.
Yeah.
right?
It kind of is.
It's what we do in business. It's what we do in our personal relationships. It's what we do.
Well, it's what Richard does.
Wendy Bell here soon.
By the way, it's what Richard does, and it's what I fail at. Richard has been trying for the last year to get me to focus my magnifying glass. He gives me the advice all the time, and I fail at it over and over again.
You have not.
Okay, before we go, Facebook Live.
But you know what? Today, really quick. Today you brought up a topic on the
parenting.
Show. Parenting.
Yep.
Right. Good parent, bad parent, friends,
tough parents,
disciplinarians. And you said something that really stuck with me. It's such a slippery slope that we must stay diligent on our children.
Absolutely.
Because the progression, and that's the word you use.
Yep.
The progression is
so
rapid,
fast.
so fast.
Oh yeah.
From inception to a real problem.
Catch your kid vaping, next thing you know. I mean, it's just bad.
And so I really want to focus on that and tell everybody out there that's a parent, it is a slippery slope, and the progression is amazingly.
I'd rather be a tough
fast.
parent than a friend.
And we're going to talk about that. I hope that's one of the things we're going to talk about with Wendy.
Speaking of Wendy Bell, not only do you hear Richard Bazzy on Bubba Show on 100.7 Star, but Sundays at 1 p.m. on News Radio 1020 KDK, you can hear Richard and Wendy. And what's that all about?
That's pretty cool. We do the show, and I'm not even sure what the title of it is anymore, but because we go all over the place with it. It's kind of a, what we do on Star on Tuesdays, Ask Richard Anything.
That was pretty awesome, by the way.
Yeah, that was fun.
Richard Bazzy giving life advice.
Yeah,
it's just the greatest thing ever.
Yeah,
and it doesn't have to be about cars, but you hit some topics.
Yeah, we hit some topics. So this is Albert. So we're going to tell Albert to hold on.
Who's Albert?
Hey, can you hold on a second?
By the way, this is live on Facebook. I love the fact that Richard actually takes phone calls. Why wouldn't he, right? He would absolutely take phone calls.
You're on the air right now, so just be calm.
What's Albert doing? Well, do you got to talk to Albert?
I'm going to talk to Albert, so we're going to have to go.
All right. So
these people are really tired of hearing us.
Oh, my God. Make sure you listen to us live on 100.7 Star Sundays on News Radio 1020 KDK with Wendy Bell. And I'm actually getting in my Ford F-150. I'm heading to Wexford right now to Shults Ford, and I'm getting another truck.
And as soon as you do, you'll say,
"Yay!"
Thank you.